Welcome back to the weekly, Mr. Fromage. You sent us an email a couple of days ago and you told us that you think Doctor Who should die in a ditch, and you said you weren't a fan of it anymore. Are you okay with censoring a show just because you don't like it?
Well, I believe that any like-minded person should be able to write into their television studios and make a formal complaint if there is
I mean,
something.
we're okay, but you, as a government minister, are advocating a show to be completely cancelled because you don't like it anymore. That would be censorship. Are you okay with that? How could that be okay?
If the show gets too controversial, then I think we should.
Controversial how?
It suggests that.
You said to us in that scenario that you used to love the show back in the 60s and the 70s. What's changed? Is it the representation? Is it the values? What is it? What is it that means you are desperate for the show to be killed?
Well, quite frankly, it would happen to be that there's all this nonsense about having to have equality within the shows, and this nonsense of always looking for the next female Doctor Who, which, quite frankly, I believe it's a man's profession, both as a doctor in real life and as the character of the.
Have you ever met a woman doctor in your life anywhere?
Well, I remember going to an appointment, when a doctor's appointment, and I met a nurse who kept claiming she was a doctor, but I thought, no, no, you must be the nurse. I'm looking.
And let me guess, they wound up whipping out their PhD in front of you and saying, "I'm a doctor, bitch."
Well, they pointed at some sort of PhD that was put on there.
I mean, no, you stop denying it. It's what's happened. Every single newspaper reported it.
Newspapers are known to exaggerate certain truths, as you and
They
I.
do sometimes, but when you've got both left and right wing papers all coming together to tell the same story, surely you can't deny it.
Well, I still believe that both newspapers, left and right, were merely exaggerating the story to such a degree just to sell their products. It had
Sorry
nothing
to interrupt, but we are a little bit short on time. Talking about Doctor Who again, there's more black characters, there's more black writers, there's more women writers, there's more women characters, there's a more diverse representation throughout the show than there was back then. What's so wrong with that?
Well, I believe it's all about appeasing their own agendas of having to ram this sort of political ideology down our throats as we watch the show. It's nothing to do with the stories anymore. It's just about.
No, it's still everything to do with the stories because Doctor Who has always tackled social ills. I mean, is this just you feeling offended because you're being called out on your racism, of your sexism, of your transphobia, of your xenophobia?
Well, I don't recall Doctor Who ever tackling any of these issues before now.
You clearly haven't watched. You told us you loved the show.
Well, I don't.
Name one serial from the classic era that you actually watched.
I think I might have watched Colin Baker episode one time.
You don't know the name of it though, do you?
No, I
And you
wouldn't be
haven't
able to
thought
tell
about what that episode was all about or what they were trying to tackle at all, do you?
I don't recall. All I saw.
Then why did you tell us you were a big fan of the show then?
Who said it was me? Or, I mean, are you sure it was? Are you sure it was from Me? I don't believe so. No, it could have just been one
Mr.
of.
Fromage, are you currently shitting your pants?
This meeting's over. Goodbye. No, turn that camera off. Turn. Derek, get to the emergency loo room.